were only monogamous because of policies and documents. Otherwise, instinctively and genetically, we're not monogamous beings. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just here to state as to how it came about. Then it's up to you to draw your conclusion whether our ancestors did the right thing to actually propel us into monogamy. We should be just procreating with anyone you want to procreating with anytime you want to procreate without any rules and regulations. So that's how STIs came about, according to me. The stereotype that it's males who actually want more partners and females are just monogamous in nature. That is false. Monogamy is not really a code that was instilled in the human software. It just developed as we evolved. You can see it through these high rates of divorce, cheatings, and infertility among married couples. That human beings are not really monogamous. They are just complying to societal norms and standards, policies, and diseases. Hello, elements. I hope you guys are good. Don't be alarmed. I'm okay. I'm not at the hospital. I'm just at home. It's a Friday once again, and we're back, baby. Woohoo, back. Okay. You may be asking, why is she in bed? Why is she in bed today? Okay, I'm just not feeling good. I'm not 100. In fact, I'm not even a 50. If I'm a 10, then I'm lucky, but I'm not feeling 10 at all. But then the show must go on. So it's a Friday once again, and we're back. If it's your first time joining us, you are humbly welcome. Welcome to the family. I talk about issues. I address issues that people are extremely naive to talk about, and I address them truthfully, and I try by all means to be factful. And my fact today might not be your fact. I might be your friend today, and I might be your enemy tomorrow, because you may resonate with what I'm saying today, and tomorrow I might be your enemy because of what I said. So my truth is my truth, and your truth is your truth. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. Nobody is forced to understand or resonate with another person. So take whatever resonates with you, and what doesn't resonate with you, just live it. Just go past, right? Okay, today we're going to talk about monogamy, the stages of monogamy. Is monogamy the right choice? How did monogamy come about in the first place, right? Okay, so in the past, after people decided to choose whether to be male or female, I will talk about the time whereby a human being was just a male and a female in one. But then, let me not confuse you for today. Today, let's start this topic when human beings were already divided into male and female, right? Exactly. Okay, so when that started, the males would fight over the females, right, for reproduction purposes, right? So there'll only be maybe one female and 3 males, right? And they would all fight for her, right? Sometimes there would be 5 females and 2 males, but then there'll be just that one female releasing high, secreting a lot of pheromones, right? Or she looked pleasing to the eye, right? So most men would fight over that female, right? Okay. That's what would happen. creating this imbalance between these genders, right? So males would fight over this one female in the clan, or they would fight for this one female with high levels of pheromones, leading to killings and blood spilling and unnecessary killing and spilling of blood, right? So females, let me start with females. Females had more than one reproductive partner, so that one, there can be a high chance of egg fertilization, and two, so that their genes or their genotype can mix or interact with a lot of diverse spermatozoa, so to eliminate illnesses. I will talk about microorganisms and their infections in one of my videos, but just to summarize, when a microorganism attacks a group of larger organisms, they would attack this one, and this one would infect the next person, and the next person would infect the next person, in turn wiping out the whole population, right? But then if this one is born from a gene, or let me say is born from a female who's from this clan and a male who's from another clan, and then this next person is born from the same female but from a male from another clan, right? So if there is mixing up of clans, when these microbes attack this one person, they would maybe kill this one person, but then once this thing is transmitted to the next person, they would have a difficulty attacking that person. Maybe they may not even be able to attack that person because of the diversity of their genes, but then maybe they can attack the person, but then they may not be able to kill the person because they couldn't attack some of the person's cells, right? Diversity meant protection against infections. I will talk of microorganisms and infections in another video, but then today let's just summarize that infections are limited or subsided by diversity in DNA and genotypes, right? So that's why that was done in the past. It was just an instinct. Nobody had taught them. It was just an instinct. Even with males would have more than one sexual partner, so that they can have more children, because when a female is pregnant, a female cannot have another fertilization, so a male has to had to have more than one partner, so that there can be more babies, there can be an increased population, one, and two, for diversity. And a female had more than one partner for diversity and for a high chance of natural selection and for an elevated chance of fertilization, right? So that's how it used to happen in the past. So as time went by, males would fight over females because pregnant females could not participate in the coitus activity. So the population of females would decrease, right? So males would fight over the remaining females, or sometimes there would just be a less population of females in the land, or sometimes there will be just one female with an elevated concentration of pheromones attracting all the men in the land, hence leading to the men fighting over her. So yes, that's why it was more of males fighting over females than females fighting over males. It would happen for females to fight over a male, but it was very, very rare, but it would happen. Okay. And then as time went by, people became a bit conscious. They began to understand that we're dying here. We're dying. This is blood spill, unnecessary blood spill and killings. So in order for us to avoid these deaths and unnecessary killings and blood spill, let at least a man have females dedicated to him, that these would be the females to be with him, right? Put females aside and lock them in a shelter them to mark his territory, own them, right? That's how this patriarchal thing came about, right? So every male would have females dedicated to him, right? So these alpha males, the stronger ones, would obviously secure the better females and the prettier females and more females, right? So he'd secure them and shelter them, own them, right? It's now his livestock, his belongings, right? That's how this patriarchal system came about. So these lesser males would miss out. Sometimes they would just have no female. They would own no female, right? So they would be selected out according to natural selection, right? So as time went by, these alpha men themselves had to compete among themselves. So they again realized that no, this competition is killing us. It's an unnecessary blood spill. We're gonna die for no reason. So let's just make a rule that a man should at least have a minimum of, I don't know what the limit was, but then that began to be a limit, right? That you shouldn't take all the females in the land. At least let's share, right? Because females were beginning to be viewed as livestock. Why? Because females had a high level of the feminine energy, and feminine energy is not strong. They couldn't fight against predators, so they depended on males to fight for them. So if an alpha male has kept you as livestock, it was a blessing in disguise, because in a way you have secured yourself food. This man will go hunting for you, because men had a high level of the masculine energy, which meant that they were good. They were good at fighting. They were strong. They were good hunters, right? A high level of masculinity means that you're just a go-getter, you're a fighter, you're strong, right? So females those days had a lower levels of masculine energy and a higher level of feminine energy, which meant that they were not good hunters, and they were just not fighters at all. So having a male domesticating you as a female was a blessing in disguise, because it meant security, it meant food, it meant protection against predators. The only thing you are bringing to the table is coitus, right? Exactly. And reproduction. Reproduction was a benefit for both males and females, but then what females were bringing to the table was just reproduction, like coitus. As time went by, these alpha males were seeing that no, now they cannot survive this. Let's at least have a limit. Let's just say the limit maybe was at least 5 females per male. So as these went by, as this process went by, these other alpha males would still or fall in love with other females that were already domesticated by other males secretly, right? Cheating nowadays, that would happen, and these alpha males would fight still, right? So it's more bloodshed. Again, they came and sat down and discussed this, that okay, now let's have document things down, that okay, once a man has secured his maximum of 3 wives, he is not allowed to look at any other woman or another person's wife. Once they do that, or once you're discovered to have done that, you are killed, or whatever punishment was there, right? So there began these documentations and contract things, right? So everybody found cheating was punished in a way. I don't know what way it was, but then they were punished, right? So it was okay until more females didn't like other alpha males and preferred other males. So they were like, no, I don't care whether you domesticate me or not, I just want you. You can have your 3 maximum wives, domesticate them, but then I just want you. If I'm your 4th, then I would rather be your mistress, right? So these other males would be culled out by natural selection because they can't find any females, because these remaining females do not want them. They want what they want. Okay, as time went by, these other males were very envious and jealous of these men with more wife. So a contract, a policy, a law was put in place stating that it's mandatory for everyone to have one partner. No one is allowed to have more than one partner. So that's how this thing came about, this monogamy thing. So we're only monogamous because of policies and documents. Otherwise, instinctively and genetically, we're not monogamous beings. That's why we have these high rates of killings and lovers, homicides and murders and divorces and cheatings and all these things, because we're only complying to a document, to a paper that was formulated by society. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just here to state as to how it came about. Then it's up to you to draw your conclusion whether they did the right thing, whether our ancestors did the right thing to actually propel us into monogamy, or they're actually the ones to blame for these brutal deaths and high rates of divorces, when we should be just procreating with anyone you want to procreating with, anytime you want to procreate, without any rules and regulations, because these rules and regulations are the ones that are literally impending or limiting and stepping on humankind. Please, let's not start with STIs and all that. I will talk about STIs in another video, but just to summarize, it's not a conspiracy theory according to me. It might be a conspiracy theory to you, but then to me it's not. STIs were also brought about as a way to curb this a multi partner way of life. It was a way to strengthen monogamy by these, Ralph Smart calls them inorganic ones. So it was a way to actually enhance or strengthen the monogamy policy, because most people were actually able to hide it efficiently and effectively. They would cheat, see each other through the back doors without being caught. So people notice that this thing is actually not working. So let's just introduce STIs so that people will be petrified or second guess themselves before they cheat, right? So that's how STIs came about according to me. If that doesn't resonate with you, or you just don't believe it, or you think like no, let me go find my own truth, perfect, correct, go and find your own truth. That is the truth according to me, right? So that's why we have these high rates of infertility in couples, low sperm count and all that. It's because in the past, it was known that some females are not really fertile, so they need to be fertilized by more than one spermatozoa for the egg to be effectively and efficiently fertilized, for a high rate of egg fertilization. Sometimes it needs that rare kind of sperm to actually fertilize that egg. So if you are on with this one partner, your egg will not be fertilized because number one, doesn't have that kind of rare spermatozoa, and two, his sperm alone is not high enough to fertilize your special egg. Let's call it a special egg. Your special egg. So we need a high number of sperms to actually instill this high success rate, right? So that's why we're having these infertility problems nowadays. Sometimes sometimes they would say this man has a low sperm count. It might be a possibility due to the diet and the chemicals we're exposed to nowadays. But then in the past, if there were doctors then, there were going to be some males with low sperm count. This is because they have a special spermatozoa which can only fertilize a special kind of egg. It's very selective. It doesn't fertilize any kind of egg, right? So how will you know that you've actually married the lady with a special kind of egg? What it's really rare. How much of a chance what ratio is there to actually find that one person with the perfect kind of egg? So yes, you have to deposit the spermatozoa in different types of females for an elevated success rate. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to propel or advocate for polygamy or polyandry, right? We'll talk about that in another video. I'm just here to actually open up your mind, to actually go do your research on how this monogamy came about and if it's a good thing for us to take it up, right? And mind you, do not include these STI things. These STIs were brought about to strengthen the monogamous policy. It's up to you to either go do your research and analyze if this monogamy thing was the good thing for our ancestors to propel us in towards, or it wasn't. And there is this stereotype that it's males who actually want more partners and females are just monogamous in nature. That is false. So forget these stereotypes that state that females have low libido compared to males, or females females are monogamous, males are the polygamous species. No. Everyone has polygamy DNA in their system. It's just that some people adapt better than others, right? Which means that there are females out there who still want to have more than one partner, but then they have to comply. And there are males out there who want more than one partner, but they are forced to comply because of societal morals and laws, and they're afraid of STIs, obviously. But then that's what I was here to present today, elements that monogamy is not really a code that was instilled in the human software, right? It just developed as we evolved along, right? But then it's still there. You can see it through these high rates of divorce, cheatings, and high rates of infertility among married couples. But then, with that being said, you go do your own research and you sit down with your higher self and analyze this further. Do not take my word for it. Listen to your higher self, understand if okay, the information I'm getting today resonates with me or it doesn't resonate with me, and if it resonates with you, take it and develop it further. Don't take my word for it. If it doesn't resonate with you, then it's okay. It means that you are fitting into the matrix. You're actually fitting into society. You are not a black sheep, right? So that's what I'm just trying to say today, that human beings are not really monogamous. They're just complying to societal norms and standards, policies, and diseases. Otherwise, we know the truth. We know the truth. Love you, elements. Good day.